Hi pals, my name is Mal, or you can call me Milk, and welcome back to my channel. As you can see, we are off to a bad start because we have freaking Kevin here at the intro screen. So let's get him off the screen and get started on today's video. I put a poll up on my community tab on the YouTube channel to ask you guys which video you wanted to see first. I had two videos ready to be uploaded. I had this one here, the third episode of the Halloween Island, and I also have a Stardew Valley episode coming out where I do the Moonlight Jellies dance, and most of you guys said you would like to see this episode here. So if you would like to be involved in some more polls in the future, be sure to subscribe and check out the community tab because I will be doing this again. I really liked this. On today's episode, I will be clearing out this Zen area here to make a little fall parade. So we have one of these back in my hometown that I would go to every single year, and it would basically be a little parade. I'll put up some pictures of my actual hometown. You can see there's a lot of people. There's hanging lights. They shut down the whole street. There's old cars that drive through, tractors, the fire trucks, like all that fun stuff that you can find at parades pretty much in any town. And so I wanted to do that in my little area there by the Zen garden. So first, I started off by actually making these stone lions mossy. If you saw my last video at the end of it, I forgot that I wanted to do that, so I did that in the beginning of this one. And then we're just going to go ahead and start clearing everything up to get everything ready for our cute little fall parade through the town. Also, if you are new to my channel and you have not seen any of my other Halloween videos that I have uploaded, every single video, except for the first one because I couldn't find one, I am doing a scary story that I find online. So today's scary story is called The Cabin. It's by diatmika.org. I hope I'm saying that right. Probably not, but you get the point. And this story I actually have read like forever ago, and I completely forgot about it, and I remembered like the gist of the story, and I wanted to tell this one the first episode, but I couldn't find it anywhere, so I'm so glad to have found it. So let's go ahead and I will read it to you now. A hiker decided to go on a hike by himself, something he was not very used to. The whole day was normal. Trees and bushes engulfed his surroundings. He enjoyed being outdoors in the mountain. Nothing seemed strange to him. That was until he was making his way back to his car. He figured an 8-hour hike was good enough. The sky was already getting dark and he needed to get back fast. What was odd was how much he didn't recognize the trail back. He began to panic. Night had already taken over and all he had was a flashlight and no clue on how to get back. He knew it was already too late and too dangerous to keep going through the perilous forest. He began to worry that he would have no shelter for the night when, almost luckily enough, he stumbled across a broken down cabin. It was dark and seemed like nobody had visited for years, but he knew it was the only place where he could find rest until daylight, especially since his flashlight was running out of battery. He knocked on the door a few times, but no one answered. So he let himself in, where strangely enough, a perfect bed fitted for one person awaited him in the center. He knew that if the owner came back, he could explain himself. He was sure that the owner wouldn't mind, or was probably dead. So he went ahead and got himself comfortable in bed. As he tried to sleep, he couldn't ignore the collection of paintings around the room. Portraits of strange-looking people all peering at him, each wearing a smile that sent chills up his spine. Not too long after his exhaustion from the hike got the best of him, and he was able to ignore the faces. The next morning, he got up early and was shocked to see that there were no paintings around the room, but windows. I mean, isn't that so creepy? I love this story. It's like, it's just so creepy. Like, I love these short stories that they're so short, but they have like just enough to scare the crap out of you or like really freak you out. And I don't know, I just really liked that one. as in the pictures I showed you of my hometown earlier, they hold this fair or this parade through the town. They actually shut down a road of the town, which is very inconvenient, by the way, but I get it. It makes sense. They shut down the whole road, and they have the little dangling lights over everything. They have some food stands places, and it's on the road. So right now I am laying down a road path that I found. I think it's pretty cute. The only thing that I really dislike about this road path and the sidewalk path that I'm going to use here in a little bit is that it doesn't have that little spot on it, the transparent spot on it that keeps it onto the pathing that's underneath it. So it hangs over it. Whereas if it had the little dot on it that's transparent, it would stay along the path. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean. If you played this game, you know what I mean. But yeah, it doesn't have that on this path, so it does hang over a little bit. The edges are a little sharp whenever I do the sidewalk, you'll see. But it still works. And also I didn't save the little inner corner piece on that little corner on the left-hand side that you see. So I do end up putting something over top of it so you can't see that little missing spot of the lining. Here you go. Here you can see where it does not just stick just on the path. It hangs over the side a little bit. So I don't love that, but it'll do. I think the sidewalking's cute. It's not specifically for this road tile, I don't believe, but it works, and it has these cute little chalk boxes and little chalk drawings on it. So I added those. I thought that was a cute little touch, because at these parades that we have in our town, there's always a ton of kids there. The people on the fire trucks throw candy, so I have little candy custom designs that I add as well. And so yeah, I think it adds a little cute touch with the little chalk. So I do play around with these lights and where I put them. I only had 2 on me, so I was kind of trying to mess with how I wanted to place them. I thought they looked really cute, like one after the other, so whenever I was down at the bottom, they made that cute little line of lights. But I do end up moving the other one on the side of it, where it's kind of like jutting out the side behind the houses, just because I needed lights over there. I don't know. But you'll see that I kind of make it work by adding different lights and different things here and there, so I don't know what I'm talking about. You guys can just watch and see what I do. I'm on my first glass of wine, and I'm already not knowing what to talk about. Keeping the tradition of my last video, I will also share one personal spooky story that I have. The one that I have today is very short, very simple. I'm pretty much saving my most scariest one for the very last video. So we got a short little one today. And that is one day, as in my last video, I was sitting on my couch watching TV. Nobody else was home. I was by myself. And I heard what sounded like a rocking chair creaking. So you know, like the... You know what I mean? And the only rocking chair we have at that house, or at the time, was one sitting outside. So I was like, clearly that's what this is, the rocking chair shaking around outside. So I looked, and it was not moving. And I could still hear the... So then I was starting to get a little concerned. This is when it also clicked that it sounded like it was coming from upstairs. So I go upstairs. And then from there, it sounded like the was coming from the attic. And I know that we don't have a rocking chair up there, so I said, I am not going to be a little investigator today and go into the attic by myself and check out what that noise is. So, needless to say, I just kind of went downstairs and ignored that it ever happened. But to play devil's advocate here, there is one thing in my mind that it could have been, and that is that maybe something has fallen, I don't know how. Say, like, if a soda bottle, like one of those big, is it a gallon? Those big liters, the big liter soda bottles. If one of those falls on its side, it'll kind of rock back and forth. That's the only thing I could think of that it was. Something like that fell and was just kind of rocking back and forth until it steadied itself. However, it did make that creaky noise for a good while. And I'm almost positive it was not something falling. And even if it was, what is falling down in the attic by itself? I don't know. It made me freak out, and it was very weird and unexplainable. But let me know what you think. Do you know what it could have been? We don't have anybody. It wasn't like an apartment where people were next door to us or anything like that. Our house is on its own with a good bit of yard, so we weren't hearing what the neighbors were creaking or what they were doing. It sounded wrong, but you know what I mean. So I don't know what it could have been. It freaked me out, but yeah, that's that. Going back to the video here, I am moving a little spooky arch over here right in front of the little fortune teller spot. Coming up here, I don't know how soon it is. I did do a lot of other stuff on my island this day. However, a lot of stuff got cut. So I realized that I ran out of space on my card, like my little SIM card that I record on. And so I'm going to need to get that figured out before the next week's video because I do not have that filmed or edited yet. So we're going to need to figure that out. But there's a lot of things that were cut out of this video. I do show at the end kind of what I did. It was little simple stuff that doesn't really matter, but you'll see it later on. Here I'm just adding a couple custom designs to make it just more filled in. And another thing is I do want to add a tractor on this road, maybe like one of the cars or something, just something on the road to actually, you know, show that it's a fair and they're just not looking at each other sitting in the road. But I do not have Happy Home Paradise on this island here, so I'm gonna have to move stuff from my other Switch onto this one to add them. So I don't add them in this video, but I will add them later on, and I'll show you the final thing once I'm done with that. But you can see how I kind of moved the lights over here, and I add some street lamps, and I put the little banners up here to just add a little bit more to the road. And I think it looks super cute. I'm pretty sure this is close to the end here. I add a little bit of fencing and just to kind of separate it from the town, since the neighbors' houses are right there. Probably shouldn't be able to walk right onto the road. But I think it turned out really cute. I love that it reminds me of home, and it reminds me of our little fair festival thing that we would have every fall. Unfortunately, I didn't go this year, but this reminds me of home, and it takes me back there. I did a little look-see at what I did last episode, because I know some of the trees weren't fully grown, so you can see Hornsby and Mint, and just enjoying it, looking all around. And yeah, I will show you a little end scene. Oh, I add a hay bed here because I felt like that was a little empty. But I will add a little end scene here of me showing you everything that I made and the little scenes that I didn't get to add in this video. I customized the lights at the museum to be red, and I will probably only just add a little bit of weeds there, and that's probably all I'll change to the museum. But here you can see the little path here, and right below this area where I had the gym stuff, I do turn into a playground. So I don't show that, but you can see that. And up at the top of my island where that other house was, if you saw my tour, I cleared out because I will go make a build here on my next video. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please subscribe, give this video a like, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!